Cuphead. I've spent literal days trying to figure out how to frame this. On one hand, I don't think Cuphead's nearly as hard as most people presume. On the other, it's easily one of the most difficult games I've ever chased the platinum on. And I think this at-odds sentiment comes down to endurance. Most game bosses hit you with routine or even ridiculous amounts of challenge here and there, whereas Cuphead does it constantly. As you probably know from experience though, simply keep trying and improving within the patterns, and you'll eventually beat things with increasing ease. And that's what Cuphead boils down to, a very hard game that most people can actually get good enough to complete if they simply stick with it. Personally, I stuck with it because I absolutely adore the art style, as well as the fact that almost the entire experience is a boss rush. So no waiting through hours of dull stages beforehand here, just straight to the dessert portion of the meal. And each fight is surprisingly unique and memorable, with mechanics designed to test you in new and awesome ways. Just when I thought I was at my wit's end, I'd realize I could do more than I had been doing, such as using bombs in the final phase of Wally Warbles, or using the invisible roll as Miss Chalice. While I do think the guides make this sound a bit harder than it is, I also realize they were written prior to certain helpful things being in the game thanks to the DLC, which by the way is also spectacular. I see people discuss this title as rage-inducing, but I found the whole affair so charming on the whole that I rarely got genuinely angry with it. There are flaws, and things that seem cheap, such as the way each character's parry tends to put you in dicey situations, or how unfair some of the random elements can roll together. I also wasn't the biggest fan of how limited loadouts felt in the airplane stages, how the game only gets harder in co-op, or how you could end up needing to play the DLC ahead of the plat if you accidentally buy a DLC gadget from Porkrind. Lastly, while simple or easy mode is going to be a welcome inclusion to newcomers, I hate that you can beat every boss on that lower difficulty only to be locked out of the end of the game until you get good enough to play on normal. My opinion is that a checkpoint system for each normal boss probably would have been a stronger alternative. Still, this is easily one of my favorite games of all time, owed to how visually charming and uniquely challenging it is at every turn. If you can handle the platforming hell of Electronic Superjoy 2, then you can totally crawl your way through Cuphead. And with so many reasons to keep coming back, it's hard not to recommend this to even the noobiest of noob gamers. Seriously, I've even gotten all the DLC trophies now, and am still finding excuses to keep playing this thing.